Hello and welcome back to Citizen Earned. Here I've been discussing, or rather mentioning, the idea of freedom a lot. I've never really unpacked what it means, so I did some digging. In America, using American dictionaries, I found the definition of freedom to be the power or right to act, write, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint, or the absence of subjection to foreign domination or despotic government. The second one seems to be very specific, so I'm going to be using the first one. I also looked up what other countries and other languages define their freedom as, and came up with the state in which one is free from certain personal or social obligations or obligations perceived as compulsion or burden, independent in his or her decision or the like, or does not feel constrained to have the possibility to move freely and unhindered. So the big difference that I want to point out here is that the American definition is specifically defined as the pursuit of individual desire. It is not defined as what it is not, but rather what it is. Other countries define freedom as being away from the collective in some way, shape, or form. And I found that rather interesting. And I think that is the crux of what's leading us today to confuse the idea of freedom. See, the American definition of freedom, the pursuit of individual desire, is an absolute freedom. It is the promise that the Declaration of Independence made. And so our founding fathers, while writing the Declaration of Independence, also made sure to point out the fact that freedom cannot be traded for security or safety. Benjamin Franklin said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." So this was also echoed by Senator Amidala in Star Wars Episode 2, after Supreme Chancellor Palpatine declared the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society. Do you all remember that? And she says, "So this is how liberty dies," with thunderous applause. See, that's the thing. In today's society, with social media being what it is, and the political climate being what it is, people are redefining security as freedom. Well, security is not freedom, and freedom is not security. I, however, empathize with this idea and this redefinition because, of course, everybody wants to be safe and secure, right? In fact, in Star Wars, that is what led the Republic to give up their freedoms, their individual states, and become an empire, because the Emperor said he can provide a safe and secure society. Obviously, our founding fathers also understood this, even though they came 300 years prior, 250 years prior to Star Wars. So this is what's happening today. People are redefining freedom as security. They're saying, you can have my freedom, you can have my privacy, my physical location, my thoughts, but you, other person, you, somebody else, you have to protect me. My question is, how does somebody else, who also has to sleep, eat, go to the bathroom, protect this somebody all of the time, 100% of the time? Even though that somebody else has your privacy and your physical location and your thoughts, how can they be there all of the time if they still have to sleep, eat, and go to the bathroom? I mean, we all have to sleep, eat, and go to the bathroom at some point in time. So it's pretty obvious then that the answer is it's impossible. So in reality, what's happening is the person who's telling somebody else to protect them is giving up their privacy, physical location, thoughts, and so on and so forth for nothing, because they're not any more secure or any more safe. they might feel more secure and more safe because somebody else is telling them that they're safer and secure. Remember, the emperor is saying that they're more safe and secure in their society. But there isn't actually the vehicles, the things in place to make everybody safer and secure. It's just a perception. So instead of forcing somebody else to not eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom in order to guarantee somebody else's safety, why don't we enable everybody? Why don't we empower everybody to provide their own safety? That way, person A can provide the safety while person B eats, sleeps, and go to the bathroom. And then when person A has to eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom, person B can provide the safety. This is kind of what the Founding Fathers had in mind when they wrote the Second Amendment. But we'll get to that later. I think it's pretty obvious that since people have to eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom, the only way that you can have safety for society is to exercise freedom. And by enabling and empowering everybody to provide that safety. I mean, I don't understand why people are arguing about this. It seems so basic, so simple. But okay. Now, at this point, somebody usually brings up the counter argument. Well, at what point does somebody's freedom encroach on somebody else's freedom? And I get this. I mean, if person A decides that they're more entitled to person's B life than person B's life. Whoa, okay, hold on, let me start that again. Person A feels more entitled to person B's life than person B, and person A decides to murder person B, then obviously person B doesn't have freedom, and person A is not exercising personal freedom, but rather is oppressing person B by taking his or her life, right? Because it's murder. Like, this is pretty obvious, right? So, person A, instead of deciding to murder person B, should decide to voluntarily self-limit personal freedom in this specific instance to guarantee freedom for society. That means person A has to communicate with person B instead of murdering person B. Communicate with person B. And if unable to do so in a reasonable manner, maybe enlist the help of person C, maybe a mediator, and work through the issue. So instead of using personal freedom as an excuse to oppress person B, person A should fully fulfill the citizen's task and first use the First Amendment to resolve issues with person B before saying, I'm going to use my quote-unquote personal freedom to murder person B, in which case it's just oppression. I hope that's clear as mud now. Now, what do we use as a ruler or a guideline to figure out when personal freedom becomes oppression? To me, the concept of respect seems to be more than adequate. See, if you use the golden rule and say, well, I don't want this done to me, and since I don't want this done to me, I'm not going to do it to the other person, it kind of makes sense. And it provides a great ruler to figure out when to voluntarily self-limit freedom in a specific instance to guarantee freedom for society while inhibiting personal freedom, right? Now, the concept of respect works just fine, but it starts with first having self-respect. A person has to respect themselves, to have an idea of how to respect others, and therefore how to work the guidelines of this entire thing so that we can all provide each other security. I mean, the Constitution starts with we the people, right? It's we the people should be informed, First Amendment, should be protecting one another, Second Amendment, and so on and such forth down the line. We the people. If we the people don't exercise our personal responsibility through respect and our personal freedom to provide the collective security, everything falls apart. So it's not that you can have either security or freedom. It's that you can either have security and freedom or neither. Thanks for watching, listening to me rant and rave. Please comment down below if you agree, disagree. It doesn't matter. And I'll catch you on the next one.